On a crisp April Thursday, Ethan Carter pulled his sleek silver Audi Q5 into the driveway of his three-bedroom colonial at 37 Oakwood Lane. At 34, Ethan had meticulously built his life to this point: an MBA from Howard University, a senior financial analyst position at Bennett & Associates, and now a home in the serene, well-maintained Willow Crest neighborhood. After 9 grueling hours at the office, he closed a high-stakes account, earning a rare nod from the reserved Mr. Bennett. To celebrate, Ethan stopped at Gourmet Sprout Market, splurging on artisanal dark chocolate truffles, ribeye steaks, and fresh asparagus 6 bags of indulgence for a night of well-earned solitude. The evening air carried a gentle breeze, rustling the budding maples along the street as Ethan popped the trunk and grabbed the first 2 bags. He was halfway to the porch when a sharp voice cut through the calm. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Spinning around, Ethan faced a woman storming across his lawn, her pinched face framed by a severe blonde bob. She was in her late 50s, clad in a faded navy tracksuit, clutching a yipping Yorkie that looked more like a gremlin than a dog. "I'm sorry," Ethan said, genuinely puzzled, bag still in hand. "Don't play innocent," she snapped, her eyes narrowing with theatrical outrage. "I've been watching you. I know exactly what you're up to." Ethan blinked, half expecting a prank show crew to emerge. "Ma'am, I'm just taking my groceries inside my house," he said, nodding toward the front door, emphasizing his ownership. The woman, later revealed as Dorothy Hammond, jutted her chin defiantly. "This is Emily Larson's house. She's in Phoenix visiting her sister, and I'd know if she sold it." Ethan inhaled deeply, the sting of her assumption hitting hard. He'd heard stories like this: friends profiled, strangers questioned, but his tailored suit, luxury SUV, and pristine property were supposed to shield him. Clearly, he'd been naive. "This is my house," he said, voice steady but firm. "I'm Ethan Carter. I've lived here for 10 months. Dorothy clutched her dog tighter, her lips curling. "Emily's my best friend. She'd never sell to someone like you." The unspoken accusation hung heavy, and Ethan's jaw tightened. "To someone like me," he finished for her, the familiar burn of indignation rising. "I'm calling the cops," Dorothy declared, fumbling with her phone. Ethan weighed his options: retreat inside, argue further. "Ma'am, I'm continuing with my groceries," he said, moving toward the porch as she dialed. "Yes, this is Dorothy Hammond at 35 Oakwood Lane," she said, her tone suddenly syrupy for the dispatcher. "There's a man breaking into my neighbor's house, stealing Emily Larson's groceries." Ethan paused, keys in hand. "Did you just say I'm stealing my own groceries?" Dorothy hissed, covering the phone. "We both know those aren't yours." Then, back to the dispatcher. "He's a tall black man in a suit, very threatening. Hurry." The absurdity was almost laughable, but the danger was real. Ethan set the bags down and pulled out his phone, hitting record. If this went south, evidence would be his lifeline. Dorothy, triumphant, announced, "The police are coming. They told me to watch you." Ethan kept his camera rolling. "That's fine. I'll get the rest of my groceries, the ones I supposedly stole." Dorothy shrieked, "Don't touch Emily's things." Her dog yipped furiously, as if in agreement. A red BMW pulled into the driveway across the street, and a middle-aged couple, Daniel and Claire Morgan, stepped out, eyeing the scene. "Everything okay, Ethan?" Daniel called, his tennis attire clashing with the tension. Ethan exhaled, relieved. The Morgans had welcomed him with a bottle of Cabernet when he moved in. "Not really," Ethan replied. "She thinks I'm breaking into my own house." Claire frowned, approaching with Daniel. "Dorothy, what's going on?" she asked, her tone hinting at prior run-ins. "Protecting our neighborhood," Dorothy snapped. "He's breaking into Emily Larson's house." Claire exchanged a glance with Daniel. "Emily Larson lives on Birch Street, not Oakwood. She moved to a townhouse last year." Dorothy jabbed a finger at Ethan's house. "No, Emily Larson who lives here." Daniel sighed, as if explaining to a child. "Ethan has lived here for months, Dorothy. You were at the 4th of July picnic when he came." At that moment, Dorothy's dog squirmed free, darting to the porch and toppling a grocery bag. A pack of ribeyes spilled out, and Dorothy crowed, "See? Those are Emily's favorite steaks." "This proves it." Ethan couldn't help but laugh, which only infuriated her. "You think this is funny, stealing from hardworking people?" "What's funny?" Ethan said, phone steady. Is you seeing a black man in a suit with a nice car and deciding he can't live here? So you invented Emily Larson to justify your suspicions. Dorothy gasped, clutching her chest. How dare you call me racist? I have black friends. The cliché nearly drew another laugh, but sirens cut through the air, tightening Ethan's stomach. No matter how right he was, police encounters carried risks. Daniel, can you stick around? Ethan asked quietly. Daniel nodded. We're not going anywhere. Two officers emerged from the cruiser. Officer Michael Reed, a seasoned black man with a weary expression, and Officer Tyler Evans, a young white rookie. Dorothy rushed them, pointing at Ethan. That's him. He's breaking in. Officer Reed's eyes flicked to Ethan, assessing. Evening, folks. We got a call about a break-in. Before Ethan could speak, Dorothy launched in. He's stealing Emily Larson's groceries and trying to get into her house. Reed turned to Ethan. Sir, can I see some ID? Ethan moved slowly, handing over his license, which listed 37, Oakwood Lane. I'm Ethan Carter. This is my house. I was bringing in groceries from Sprout Market when she accused me of theft. I have the receipt, house keys, and mortgage documents inside. Reed studied the license, then the receipt Ethan offered. Dorothy vibrated with fury. He's lying. Emily would never sell to a stranger. Reed's eyebrow rose. To what, ma'am? To someone she doesn't know? Dorothy faltered, but the dodge was obvious. The Morgans stepped forward. Officers, we live across the street, Daniel said. Ethan has been here almost a year. There's no Emily Larson on this street. Claire added. Dorothy's mistaken. Dorothy whirled. You're all in on it, conspiring against me. Neighbors now dotted their lawns, some filming, others chuckling. Mrs. Rivera from 2 doors down recorded openly, while the Reed teen snickered. Reed sighed. Sir, can we verify your residency inside? Ethan nodded, leading Reed to the door. As his key turned smoothly, Dorothy's face crumpled, her certainty dissolving. Inside Ethan's stylish living room charcoal and teal decor, a baby grand piano, family photos confirmed his story. Nice place, Reed remarked. You play? Since I was a kid, Ethan said, grabbing mortgage papers and utility bills. Back outside, Dorothy's protests grew shrill, but Officer Evans was calming her. The crowd had grown, and a teen, Noah Reed, was picking up Ethan's spilled groceries. Reed addressed Dorothy. Ma'am, there's been a misunderstanding. Mr. Carter lives here, Dorothy sputtered. Emily never told me she sold. Claire cut in. The Jacksons lived here before Ethan, and before them, the Coopers. No Emily Larson. For a moment, pity flickered in Ethan's chest, but Dorothy's actions demanded accountability. Officers, I want to file a report for harassment and a false police call, he said. Dorothy's eyes bulged. How dare you? I'm the victim. Reed nodded. Let's establish residency first, then discuss reports. But Ethan had another idea. Officers, instead of charges, I propose an alternative. He faced Dorothy. You caused a dangerous situation. To make amends, a public apology now, a $5,000 donation to the Pine Street Youth Center, resignation from any neighborhood roles, and enrollment in the city's diversity workshops. The neighbors murmured approval. Dorothy, cornered, balked. $5,000? That's extortion. It's less than legal fees, Ethan countered, and tax deductible. After tense deliberation, Dorothy relented, her apology grudging but public. I'm sorry for calling the police without cause, for assuming you didn't live here, for making assumptions. It wasn't perfect, but Ethan accepted it. The officers documented the agreement, and Dorothy slunk home, her dog trailing. The neighborhood, however, buzzed with energy. The Morgans invited Ethan to a barbecue, and soon a full-blown block party erupted. Neighbors brought dishes, shared stories, and bonded, transforming an ugly incident into a celebration of community. 3 weeks later, Ethan learned Dorothy had posted a bombshell on a blog, Neighborhood Watchdogs, under the alias Sentinel Star. She'd been a prolific busybody, but now wrote a searing apology detailing her racial bias in the Emily Larson fiasco. The post went viral, raising $25,000 for the youth center and sparking debates nationwide. At an HOA meeting, the neighborhood embraced the attention, issuing a statement on inclusivity. Ethan suggested sharing their story to highlight constructive resolutions, earning nods from all. 2 months later, Dorothy appeared at Ethan's door, her appearance softer, her demeanor changed. She handed him a deed she and her soon-to-be ex-husband had donated a lot to the youth center. "The workshops changed me," she admitted. "I'm divorcing Harold, moving to Portland. Thank you for choosing change over punishment." Her apology, calling him Ethan, was raw and real. "I'm sorry for the danger I put you in." Ethan accepted, wishing her well. That night, sipping bourbon with Daniel Morgan, Ethan reflected. Dorothy's attempt to ostracize him had cemented his place in Willow Crest. Her prejudice had unraveled her life divorce, social exile, while Ethan found community, purpose, and a voice in a national conversation. To Groceries, he toasted, grinning at the irony. The sunset glowed, a fitting end to a story where justice, not vengeance, prevailed, leaving Ethan exactly where he belonged.